Hello guys, it's me, Mark, and this is GroovesMe.com garden update for April, I believe it's the 16th, because yesterday was tax day and it wasn't a big deal for us. We had done ours a long time ago, but for many of you, I'm sure you were scrambling trying to meet that deadline. I hope all of you fared well in your tax returns. So as you can see, our garden is doing pretty awesome actually. We've got a couple of bees buzzing around in there. There's tomatoes on a lot of the tomato vines, and the radishes just keep growing like crazy. I came out here and I fed the girls radishes 3 times yesterday. Actually a big bunch of radish greens. Probably, you know, like if you were to buy salad greens, about, you know, that much, you know, 8 ounces or so each time. So that was quite a bit of radish greens, and today I come out and I'm still looking at how, boy, I need to go and pull some more leaves out of the tomato plants. They keep just growing in there overnight. It's crazy. So why don't I go ahead and take you guys in closer. The big radishes look big still, and those will have to be cooked. You can't really eat them as raw radishes. They're too fibrous now. But why don't I bring you in closer and show you some of the developments. Right about there, there's a bunch of tomatoes. I'll bring you guys in even closer so you can see them. Hold on. So there you guys go. See those? Those are, I believe this is Jubilee. Not 100% certain though. And let me try to see. There's a jelly bean tomato right there. Those are starting to be productive. And let's see, where's another tomato? There are tomatoes everywhere, but they're kind of hard to see because they're still green, which is good. There's some tomatoes over there, and those tomatoes back there, a little bit harder for me to get to. And the marigold is growing and doing well. The pepper plants are all growing up. The eggplants, which are up over here, are starting to grow. It took them a lot longer than I anticipated. The herbs, the onions, basil and parsley and cilantro right there in that corner with another marigold. Oh, there's some more tomatoes I can show you. Hold on, I'll just walk over there and be right back. See, there's some, I'm not sure what type those are, to be honest with you. They don't look like they're going to be Romas, but that's what I would have normally planted here. Maybe they're big beef. And then here's something that looks like Romas. So those are probably Romas. And as you can see, the garden is just crazy. Everything's doing very well. There's tomatoes all over the place. Let's get you another angle on that radish. See all those radishes from over here? The pots are all doing well. The pepper in the middle is doing good. The Roma and the cherry tomato are doing well. I haven't seen any fruit on either of them just yet, but the flowers are just off the Roma, and I guess I can see some fruit starting to form on it. And then the cherry, well, actually a couple of them are starting to form fruit now too, so that's good. Here in the next day or two, those will be popping out fruit. Let's see, what should we show you next? Hold on. And then here's the marigolds. I keep feeding the girls a little bit of marigold every day from the older ones. That's why they look a little rough. And then the dill and the oregano, they're doing great. The girls are all wanting to be out here, and I'm not going to let them out here. Hold on. I don't remember if we've done an update on the sage and thyme in a while, but they're doing great. This little bed here has been an underperformer. These tomatoes went out a little bit earlier than the others, and they just really didn't grow. So it's the second year it's been an underperformer, and I'm not quite certain why. I'm going to dig the soil out for the fall garden and take a look at what's underneath the dirt, and then probably replace it with some garden soil. But the basil and the stuff are still growing. They're just not growing as well as all the plants in the main bed, and they've received the same fertilizer. So the girls are being all cranky today. They just every time I come out here want me to bring them some more radish leaves. Alright, here we've got the blueberry plants and the hydrangea that it gave out shortly after we planted it. It was starting to do well, and then it just died, I guess. So we'll have to return it and get it replaced. But the blueberries are looking like they're just about ready. Here, I'll take you in closer. Sorry about the wind, but as you can see, the blueberries the fruit are all kind of plumping up, and soon we'll be eating some blueberries. But it's going to be a small harvest this year from the acid issues we had from last year. But next year should be a good harvest. As you can see, all of the lettuce bowls are still surviving. We're not seeing a whole lot of new growth in the lettuce, but it hasn't died, and it hasn't bolted, so that's good. Here's one of those mints we just transplanted that I've put outside. It's seeking the sun and growing, and going to be a nice little mint plant from the looks of it. And then the cilantro has really started being productive. The basil is very productive. The parsley is productive. So those will be starting to be harvested, because now they're at the point they're strong enough that we can start harvesting from them and not really impact the production so much. The rosemary is looking lovely and smells awesome as always. The citrus trees are all doing awesome. I mean, not citrus, the fruit trees. The nectarines, I still don't see any nectarines on it, so there's a few little bulbs, but I don't know if those are going to be leaves or fruit, but we'll see. It still has a little while to go before I give up on the possibility. The peaches are about the same size they were last week, a little bit plumper. And the apricots just leafed out and looking gorgeous. And then the actual garlic that we have in here is pretty close to being harvesting. And then the apple trees in the back and doing well. Here, let me zoom you or rotate you down, and you can take a look at the fig tree. There's the fig tree. It is doing great. It has doubled its size, and leaves are all beautiful green and looking awesome. So next year we should have some figs. Do you guys see what I see? After all that time, this apple tree has kind of been very dormant and not really growing very fast, but you know, it needed to have some, you know, the roots were really small on it, like I said. But look at this, we have some apple blossoms right there. That's just awesome. And those are new, those just came out probably last night or yesterday evening sometime. I still don't see Mr. Spider, he's not come back, but he did his job. I don't really see much in the way of aphids anymore. So maybe he'll come back when the aphids come back. Hopefully they don't. I like Mr. Spider, but I don't like him that much. And yeah, so we might actually get an apple out of the tree this year. That'd be great. Look at that beautiful butterfly. Flitting its wings and doing its little thing. It came over here. Right there. Alright, butterfly, we'll see you again later. Look at that pumpkin. It is growing like crazy. It has reached the wall, so pretty soon it'll probably start climbing up the wall. And it's grown all the way about 3 foot from the crown towards the camera. And then the corn, well, I'm guessing it's some kind of a dwarf variety because it just isn't really. I planted it last year and had kind of the same problem. It just kind of grows to about 3-4 foot and then that's it. It doesn't keep growing and it starts to form a flower stalk, but last year I just didn't have enough for pollination. The corn didn't come in as thick as I wanted it to, and the heat just decimated everything last year. It just destroyed it. So that's a gorgeous little pumpkin plant, and the corn's doing well. Hopefully there's enough there to pollinate, so we'll get a couple of ears anyway. A lot of them didn't come up, and then the corn we've had, let me see if I can just rotate you over here. The corn we had over in this bed died, and then we replaced it with seed, and the seed never really germinated. And then on this bed, obviously the pumpkin's not looking as healthy. I am wondering what's in the bed that might be causing the problem, whether it's some kind of a bug or something. Hard to say. I've looked at the plant. I don't see any real damage other than the leaves looking kind of wilty and stuff, and I meant to cut them off, but I just haven't got it done. But it's starting to come out of whatever it was in. I'm thinking I need to cover up some of the stem with dirt so it can grow a new root. I think the root was the problem with this one because it was leggy, as you can see right there. The stem of the root, the stem, the crown's above that little brown spot, gray spot, and I think that's why that particular pumpkin plant didn't go ahead and do well. So I'm going to cover it up, so by next week we might see a little bit better development on it, and that's fine. I don't need a bunch of pumpkins all coming off at the same time. Alright, this little bed we started, the cucumbers are not looking very good. I don't know what's going on with them. They don't really seem to be responding, and they were doing okay in the little mini greenhouse in full sun, so I'm not quite certain why they're not going ahead and shooting off. The green beans, unfortunately, have been being ate on. They're hanging in there right there, but they're not really. The birds have picked at them because there would be a bug or something on them, and then they want the bug, so they take they snip at the bug and damage the stem of the green bean. And then let me come from a different direction. Right there, that there is the butternut squash, and it's doing great. It's actually coming out and starting to develop now, so it will become a very nice plant, I suppose. And we'll have quite a few butternut squashes to eat this year. Let's take you over to the sunflower bed. Alright, so here, as you guys can see, we've got the sunflowers developing. I'm going to pull you up just a touch more. There we go. And up in the front is the watermelon, a bunch of sunflowers, and then let me see if I can get my finger right about there. And right about there are the other two butternut squash plants, and they are doing good and developing, and it would appear that the sunflowers are all doing good and developing. It's interesting that the ones in the shade are growing faster than the ones in the light. I mean, you'd think that's becoming leggy, but they still get plenty of sunlight back there. They just get it a little later in the afternoon. And you'd think that with, sunflowers, they all want to shoot up into the air. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with these as I guess actually they're a little bit older is why, because now that I'm thinking about it, the birds had taken out a lot of the sunflowers, which you can't see. Like up in here, all of these sunflowers were mostly taken out by birds wanting to get into the chicken coop, and so when they were replanted, they were about a week later than these others, maybe a week and a half even. That's probably why. Yeah, it's getting pretty windy out here, so I'll just try to get through it real quick. The green beans are doing pretty well over here on the lattice. The soybeans have started growing up and getting onto the lattice, and hard to say whether they're going to be like the peas and just kind of get on the lattice, turn brown and die, but we'll see. Then over here, hope that doesn't make too much noise, we've got the bok choy, the collards. Didn't get out and harvest any collards, bok choy, and bugs have been just chewing them up something fierce the last few days. The peas have started turning brown. I've already harvested a couple of pods that were, I was saving for seed. Don't know if that's such a good thing since they didn't really do so well this year, but I think that's partially just they didn't trail up the lattice, and I'll put them on something else in the fall. So there's the, well, that's pretty much all the garden, and I'll avoid the flower bed because it's going to get pretty windy here in a minute, and it's already getting pretty windy. The collards are growing back, and we'll probably be able to start harvesting collard leaves again here in a few days. Maybe by the next update video, we'll have enough leaves to harvest another batch of collards, and we'll probably come out and get the bok choy leaves that are out before they get ate up by bugs. Could be that we feed them to the girls. They might get a lot of those since they're pretty ate up, but we'll see. Anyway, I think that's it for the garden this week. I will see you guys next time.